What is the holdup? Why has this not happened for you yet? I'm feeling the frustration of someone that has been trying to manifest something for a little while now, and it just doesn't seem to be happening. So we're going to figure out what is it that is holding back that energy at this time for you. So just take a deep breath. Allow me into your energy. If you're seeing this video, I do believe that it's for you. This is my only account and I will never reach out to you first. Lay of the land, ancestral wisdom. Now, you may be reaching for something that perhaps is different to what you would normally do, or there's a feeling of, for some of you, that imposter syndrome or being out of your league, or just this is a completely different way forward to what you're used to. Now, you may be saying to yourself, but that is who I am. That is the version of me that I'm bringing forward. That is what I want for my life. But there's still something that is maybe too hot to handle, or there's a difficulty here that you can't quite shake. And I feel like you may have recently, perhaps around the last new moon, you may have spoken some words, some intention of what it is that you want to manifest in your life. Now, this may have not been the most recent new moon. This could have been like a year ago, 2 years ago, or some time ago. But there was some kind of ceremonial thing that you did. You did it all properly. You did it all really good. And you're feeling now like, for some of you, I'm getting a year and a half specifically, actually. You're like, why is this not going ahead? Just very distractions. Sorry about that. So, yeah, the intention that you set, and it does feel like it could have been about a year and a half ago for many of you. You're now thinking like, well, I saw this happening like a long time ago. Why is it not manifested yet? What is happening here? Why is it blocked? Okay, so we're going to have a look now into, because that was heard. Your intention was definitely heard. But why hasn't it manifested yet? There's something about balance. And what I'm seriously picking up right now is that you are overlooking something that does bring balance into your life. There is something in your life right now that I feel does bring balance to this particular situation, to something that you really want. But there's a fear around it because it's very different to what you would normally choose. Maybe it's too safe and you're used to crazy, or you're used to chaos and you're not used to ease. So when something easy comes along, you're like, well, that's too easy. I don't get it. That can't be what it is. Manas is here to show you that the person you're putting out into the public, the way that you are, the version of you that you're putting out there, is becoming more and more aware of themselves. So this is what you're being guided, is like, are you fully aware of the version of you that you're bringing forward? Because if the version of you that you're bringing forward isn't resonating with the lifestyle that you have, or the environment that you're in, or the people that you're around, this is where you're going to hit blocks and problems. So the enlightenment comes through here. If you are saying that you are this, then you need to show up as that. And in the background, you need to be doing all the things that align with that. It's basically saying like, I'm a lion to the public, but then when you're at home acting like a mouse, it doesn't resonate. It doesn't work. You can't present yourself as one thing over here, and then when no one's looking, act all like this over there. So there's something in your energy here where you aren't really being honest with yourself. You may be trying to portray something in one sense, but then in another sense, that isn't what you are. And that's exhausting. That is really exhausting your energy because you're trying to keep up with something here. So, like, for instance, let me give you another example of that. And this might resonate with some of you. If you're saying that you are a witch, for instance, and that you cast circles and you cast spells or something like that, you're telling people you do all these things, but actually you sit at home and watch Netflix and drink beer. You're not actually doing any of those things. Or you say that you are someone who indulges in nature, who loves nature, who works with dryads, but actually you never go out in nature. You never do those things. You just sit at home. So, you know, it's just listening and being aware of like, what is it I'm trying to portray and how aligned am I with that? You know, let me give you another example. If you say, I really like being in a relationship with someone who is like honest, open, spiritual, that kind of thing. But you're not showing up in those ways yourself, or you're choosing to be with somebody that doesn't have any of those qualities and convincing yourself that you're okay with that when actually you're not. You're not really manifesting what you want here. So there's a big deal with that right now. So that's what I'm getting from here. And your ancestors are actually trying to encourage you to be aware of where you may have presented yourself in particular relationships or friendships in your life, but you're not really being that person in your own time. So why is that? Because it is actually affecting your relationships and friendships. So if this reading, if your intention, what you wanted to manifest was actually about relationships, just saw 555 there as well, then it could be that you need to look into, okay, so if I tell this person I read lots of books or I do this or I do that and I'm not doing those things, why am I not doing those things? I obviously like those things because I wouldn't be saying that I do them. So you're going to start doing them. And when you do, you're going to notice a shift and a change in the energy. And I feel like there is still hope for the rest of this month. If for the next 5 days I'm getting, you start embodying that version of yourself that you truly feel you can be and want to be. You can bring that into being. You can make those changes. You can allow that. There's something about the number 68 as well that's significant. Now that could be somebody's age, or 68 could be an anniversary, but you may notice the number 68. It could be on a receipt if you've paid for shopping and it came to £68. So remember that number because there's significance to it. So this could be your reading if that resonates with you. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, it's time to stop pretending to yourself or hiding from the world the weirdest, wildest version of you, because I feel for some of you that is why you kind of, or it could be the other way around. You're very weird at home. Perhaps you do lots of witchy things or you do something extraordinary, but when you present to the world, to your friendship groups, to your family, you don't show any of that. You hide all of that. When we do that, we bring a block to our sacral center. We're actually blocking our creative energy by doing that. And then it can leave you feeling really foggy as to like, well, what do I do? Who am I? What am I? And it's very, very confusing. And then you may find that you're trying to convince other people of what you are, who you are, and you don't need to do that. So let's give you some advice. What do you need to know? Okay. For some of you, what you're actually being advised here is if there's a situation where you want to be involved with another person, you need to allow other people to see that you are human and that you do struggle too. Because I feel like sometimes you come across as like the fixer, the rescuer, like I know what to do. I know how to fix this. I know how to sort this. And everyone looks at you as if like, oh, he or she, they've got their life sorted. They never seem to struggle with anything. They never seem to have a problem, but you absolutely do. And you even have some evenings where you might cry all night because you're feeling so, upset about things not being the way that you want them to be. But what this is saying here is that open up to people, let them see that struggle, because that is actually going to make people want to reach out to you more, because then they're like, oh my God, they are actually human. They struggle as well, but they are resilient too. They seem to have a way about them. So it's like expanding the awareness that other people have about who you are and what you do. You may have been thinking about this for a little while yourself anyway, and just be honest. If you're a bit of a lone wolf, then you're a bit of a lone wolf. If you prefer to spend time by yourself, then that's absolutely fine. You need to tell people that they have to be patient with you. Be patient or don't be. But if you can't be patient with me, then we can't be friends, basically. So if you need that, it's time for you to really speak up about what those needs are, because otherwise you're going to keep finding this block to you being able to manifest this intention that you want. It all comes down to you collaborating with those around you that you trust. Allow them to see that you are human. If this resonates with you, drop me a DM. I'd love to book in a personalised reading with you. Have a blessed day.